I wanted to take a good look at this image right here. This is an image of how perfect symmetry of bones in your body looks like. This is what I look for. This is what every single dedicated and committed specialist of human performance looks for. Yet there are so many specialists who know about this that don't use this system because it's too much work for them. But when you're a top pedigree individual, someone who expects the best, someone who always puts 100% into everything you do when it comes to performance, you want to know about anything that is going to hold you back potentially or is currently hindering your performance. And this is where this massive postural assessment comes in. And see, when people talk about posture, they talk about this whole sitting up straight, erected spine, like something stuck up your backside. That's not what posture is. Posture is all about how well you can sustain your body's integrity against gravity. One of the most fiercest predators for the human body. It is relentless. 24/7 you have gravity surrounding you all the time, whether you're standing or laying. It is constantly compressing you. And that's why you need to know how gravity is affecting you based on how you use your body. You see, depending on your sport, depending on your daily activities, will determine how your bones will sit, because the human body is asymmetrical, and it becomes even more asymmetrical depending on how we use our body. And that is why when it comes to performance, it's not about pushing hard, it's about addressing the areas that are creating weakness. That is what true peak performance is. It's that 0.01% of improvement. You see, when you can understand how your body is positioned when you're standing, side profile, and laying, gravity distribution, you start to understand where you really need to work. And the human body doesn't just go wonky left to right, it rotates. And this is where so many people ended up with injuries in their spine and joints, because no one talks about this, but the human body becomes weak through rotation, not just through weakness in the joints, because as the vertebrae in his spine start to rotate, you start to create this spiral effect because of the way you use your body and the way gravity is being dealt with on a daily basis. That's when problems occur. And it doesn't matter who you are, it will happen to everyone. It affects those who are in a high demand position for using the body, elite athletes, more. And which is why they have so much research and science and medicine around them. And it's more than just strength and conditioning, it's about creating an optimal condition for the body to perform in. This is why I always review my clients using this system. I'll use the laying position to see how gravity is affecting the body. Laying down, equal distribution of gravity, standing position, and then side profiles, left to right. All of this gives me a good understanding of how their body is going to compromise. What part of their system is going to give first? What structures are going to give? So you can do all this sledge pushes and clean and press and deadlifts and squats, high intensity sprints. But soon as a certain part of you starts to give because it can't tolerate that force and load, there's going to be compensation that's going to turn into a problem. And that's why these injuries always occur. That's the true reason why injuries and pain and weakness exists. Because when the bones cannot float in their perfect space, the tissue that surrounds it can no longer do its job properly, the structure becomes compromised. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about how well you are being assessed, because there's so much online education. There are so many online courses and training methods that people are following, but all of them have a glass ceiling. None of them take your individual requirements into consideration, because there is so much you can follow a cookie cutting process until it no longer works, until it becomes a problem, until it causes injuries. So I want you to remember these things when you're taking on any training program. And if you don't have a coach that takes these areas into consideration, don't have a specialist that addresses these areas, then find one, because I promise you it will improve your performance for the long term, for decades. Remember, details matter, because you are as unique as your thumbprint.